When women leave you for whatever reason, they go out there, they experience things. They'll be like, oh, I miss you. It's not even that they miss you. It's just that, A, I want to see if you stupid, or, you know, I want to see if I can still control you, or B, I couldn't replace you, or I'm tired of getting tossed. And these guys are treating me like I wanted to be but I don't want to be forever. So can you treat me like the queen that you used to treat me? This is why they come back to you. It ain't got nothing to do with no contact. I gave her space and all that. And I want to drill that in your head. When a woman leave you, man, it's better to build new relationships than to try to mend broken ones. I'll say that to you. I highly suggest that you walk away from this chick.
Single ladies in Los Angeles, I have an amazing VIP matchmaking client who is looking for the love of his life. He's 35, 5'11", handsome, fit, and splits his time between managing investments in the hospitality and entertainment industry, traveling, and collecting rare cars. He's especially passionate about nature-driven travel and loves safaris in Africa, hiking in Norway, and skiing in places like Japan and Switzerland. He's looking for somebody who's quietly beautiful and knows how to carry herself in public, but is probably on the more introverted side like he is. Ideally, she's between 25 and 32, although there's flexibility there. She's at least 5'5" and is excited to start a family with the right person sooner rather than later. If you have an amazing single girlfriend in LA who could be a fit, please share this with her, or if you're potentially interested in meeting him yourself, then DM me.
And I think it's even gotten to the point where dudes are not at the bar anymore. You don't have guys at the bar anymore. They're not going a lot of places. How come we can't find guys at lounges or bars to buy us drinks? Well, because for one, y'all act like y'all are entitled to the drink. When the man gives you the drink, then y'all sit up there and smirk in his face like, no, get on. Be gone. Are you serious? Are you serious? I just paid $15, $20, $30 for a drink for you to be like, now get on. Don't say hi. Don't say thank you. Just, that's what you're supposed to do, as you should. Okay. And I won't be doing it again.
Ladies, there are no good men left. Now, if you really believe that, and I got a text this morning that said that, you're cooked. Your reticular activating system is literally going to show you that. If you think you're not going to be rich, you're not going to be rich. If you think there are no good men left, there will be no good men left. Because your brain, what it does is it tries to confirm whatever it is you believe. If you believe the sky is blue, it will try to show you reasons the sky is blue, even though it's actually purple, I think. Well, so what you actually need to do is we need to change our mindset. 90% of dating issues are not talking to ChatGPT, are not making him banana bread, is changing how we view the world. Yes, there are horrible men out there, but guys are 50% of the population. We're not particularly lucky if we find one that we like. We just have to keep putting you in the right spots and having a positive mindset so the guy actually approaches us.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. You know, one thing that these modern women do is they try to skip the line. Is essentially what they're trying to do. They won't say that they're not equal to somebody else, but that's the way they feel. They feel like if I go and get my degree, I'm better than everybody else. I'm the cream of the crop. I'm the prize. You might be the cream of the crop and the prize academically speaking, because you might be pretty smart academically speaking, but you're not, and you will never be the most talented person. You're not ever going to know everything. So it would behoove you and it would pay to be humble. But most modern women aren't like that. They go and get the degree. They go and get the job. And then they say, since I have these things, my standards can be sky high. My standards can be through the roof. And there's going to be a man out there that better meet him, or else they're not going to have the pleasure of getting with me. Turns out, it seems like those men that you don't want don't actually want the pleasure. They actually see it as pain.
If you're swearing that there are no loyal good women, you're not going to find a loyal good woman. Yeah. If you're saying there are no good men, you're not going to find a good man. Because what will happen is when that good man presents himself, you will question everything about him.
And push him away.
And yes, you will find a way to be able to validate your perception that he is not good and that good men don't exist. All right? And it's the same thing what happened with the men. It's like if you so believe that all women are horrible, disloyal women, you're going to convince yourself somehow that even though she's done nothing wrong, that she must be lying to you, that she must be going behind your back. And you will drive yourself insane, and you will push her away, or you will run away from the situation. You know, but yeah, you have to believe it. You have to believe it exists. You have to believe you can find that great man or woman. You have to believe you can have that great relationship. And the same thing applies to anything in your life.
You know what? You know, we talk about men opting out, not getting married, that sort of thing, because there's like legitimate legal risks to it. You got people out there, men out there, that subscribe to the belief that, hey, I'll be with it. I think I was listening to what's his name on whatever podcast that was kind of saying the same thing, and can't remember his name, his last name, Justin. Tall guy, white guy, I think, might be from Louisiana. So I don't even know if he's really white. He might be black, just light skin. I'm just joking. But am I? He grew up around black people, so maybe. Anyway, he subscribes to that belief. I'm not saying don't get married. I'm just saying there's a lot of guys out there that look at the math on that. And they're doing the math and they're trying to figure out, okay, so where do I benefit? What's in it for me? Will you get a companion? Do I really? Do I get a friend, or do I have more responsibility? Do I have another bill? Do I have more stress?
He moved on immediately. He started dating and he seems happy. He does exactly those things that you wanted him to do with you. The dinners, the trips, the attention. It makes you feel that he never cared about you. But here's the truth. Men handle loss differently because men have never learned how to sit with the pain. For him, heartbreak equals failure. So he looks for a quick way to win again, to prove that he's still wanted. But trust me, he's not fine. He's just distracted. Months later, when the silence settles and there's no one left to impress, that's when it will hit him. That's when he realizes what he had. But pride will keep him from reaching out, and fear for another loss will make him stay exactly where he is. So he's stuck between what he wants and between what he can't face. And the one who got away is the woman who's left behind. Because a woman faces the pain a man runs from. And that gives a woman the freedom to move forward when she is ready.
And once again, men are starting to look specifically, because, you know, before they was letting it go. They saw it, but they was letting it go. And now I'm looking specifically. Once again, we have to go back to drizzle. I'm looking specifically for who's putting in effort. Is the effort one-sided? Am I receiving some sort of reciprocity? Is the reciprocity up to par? Because you can't just buy me a Snickers bar and I didn't just bought you a 48-ounce tomahawk steak. We're not going to do that. Well, you did that out of the kindness of your heart. Right. And now you see how kind I am. Maybe you need to expand your kindness. Oh. Modern women don't want to do that. I want to give you these little beat up shoes that I found at Goodwill or Salvation Army that got dingy, dirty, and all that stuff. And you know, you can find some good stuff at Goodwill. You can find some good stuff. But the stuff that you be getting the man, it seemed like you done went dumpster diving. Oh, well, I found this on the side of the street. I thought of you. Girl, you stupid. Shut up talking to me.
Girl, delete this. This is not helping your brother.
Oh, this one's going to ruffle some feathers, but I'm going to be completely honest.
So what I'd like to know, in this dating world for people like over 50, like, have men just kind of given up with the trying to date and the courting and all that?
The short and sweet answer to your question is yes. Yes, they have. They've given up. They're done. They're walking away.
Is it so bad out there, like, that you guys have just given up?
No, bad doesn't even begin to cover it. Toxic, we could start with that.
Because, like, everybody I talk to says they go out on a date, and if the guy's buying dinner, then by the end of the night, he's saying, well, like, if I buy dinner, then I expect to have sex.
And there it is. Everybody you talk to, my gut feeling is, and I think it's obvious, everybody means women. Not men, women. And you're making assumptions based on what women are telling other women men are thinking instead of listening to men.
First of all, as if, motherfuckers, like that ain't happening.
And there's that toxicity.
I don't think modern women understand that getting labeled a creep, getting labeled, and you're genuinely interested, getting labeled a creep for being genuinely interested, and I'm not doing anything weird. It's weird as you perceive it. But if I come up and just say, I mean, there's been time, and I can understand you, like, hey, you being genuinely weird, but there's been times that people have come up and said, hey, how you doing? And then the women just kind of sit there and like look at him, and then they look at each other like the man's not standing there. It's like, what a freaking weirdo. Who does that? Extend your hand and say, hey, how you doing? My name is Cassie. Nice to meet you. Oh, hi, Cassie. My name, and obviously you had already said your name, but well, I just thought you were cute, and so I came over and, wanted to talk to you and then, see how you're doing tonight. Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're not doing too much of anything, just kind of hanging out. Oh man, that's great. Can I buy you guys another round? Yeah, sure, fine. And what he said, no, thank you. I appreciate it. We're just kind of taking it easy, chilling. Oh, okay. Well, we hope you have a good night. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And that's the interaction. Modern women can be extremely weird a lot of times.
Any colors? That one's self-explanatory. Thank you.
I don't understand how there's thousands of videos like this. They're not funny. And if a man made videos saying what women shouldn't be allowed to do, they would lose their mind. Men can't even make a joke along those lines without women freaking out. So why is this okay? I just don't understand it. And they're always the most silliest, pettiest things. Oh, men can't have an allergy. It's not funny. What's the point?
I wish we'd go back to when guys are just always walking up to you when you're out. Like, could you imagine? Oh my gosh, if you're like at the grocery store, at the gym, they're like, hi, I just couldn't help but say you're so beautiful. Like, I'd love to take you out sometime if you're single. If they were like good looking, I'm like, can we go back to those times?
We know why guys aren't asking women out, because women are just putting guys on blast and complaining about dudes. But you notice at the end there, she snuck in a good looking guy, right? So they want a good-looking guy to approach them, but studies have shown that women only find 10% of men attractive, so they want the top 10% of men to approach them. They don't want the other 90% of men to approach them because it gets the ick. But those top 10% of men have a lot of women chasing them, so they either have a girlfriend or they're already married, so they're not going to approach you anyways. This ultimately, like everything, comes down to a probability problem, and most people don't understand probability or math.
I think we have to start realizing that, when we talk about dating events and singles mixers and stuff like that, and men ain't showing up, maybe that's a sign. If you promote, and all of the women show up, but all of the men decide not to, for whatever reason, why is nobody stepping back to ask, now why aren't the men coming? Why aren't the men here? Man, we tried to do pickleball, they didn't come. We tried to do basketball, they didn't come. They'll come for football though. Looks like they didn't come for football. Maybe we need to start reaching out and asking, why aren't you guys coming? I mean, we had a night where we watched a football game and we had wings. We did the fight night. We did baseball. I mean, why are you guys not coming out? We're trying to do things that cater to you. And they'll tell you. And whenever they tell you, listen. Matter of fact, you don't even have to ask. You can just go in a comment section and see what men are upset about and what they're worried about, what they're concerned about. But do you think that people listen to men and what they be talking about? No, because they don't care.
I truly believe that men are not checking for women like they used to be. They're not yearning for women like they were 20, 30, 40 years ago because several reasons, right? I blame the media for one. They always got the black woman in a negative light with the BBLs, twerking half naked, or just a super masculine representation of black women, right? When that's not the case for all of us, but when that's what you see, then that's what you're going to expect. And so men are not just respecting women like they used to, okay? But then you also have women in real life who are out here thinking that they can be both the woman and the man in the relationship, talking about I need a man to tame me, honey. I need a man that's going to come and put me in my place. Masculine men are not checking for combative women. He's not trying to come home and fight you every single day when he got to go out there and fight the world. He is not checking for that type of woman. So if that's you and you're looking for a masculine man, you got some real self-reflecting to do, honey. Because meanwhile, the men that you want are passing you up looking for a grown woman who already is well aware of her femininity and how that can be very valuable to any man and any relationship.
And a lot of these modern women, sometimes they get it through their heads. I'll even say, we say, well, you're going to wait until you're 30, 40, 50 years old until you realize, man, I fumbled a guy. But there's some of these modern women out there that understand, hey, this was a good guy. I want to get a second chance with him. The only problem is they realize, hey, academically I can't even say academically now. I have to say through experience, they realize this guy that I thought was going to be the alpha male is not good for me. So I'm going to call back to this guy and hopefully he takes me back. Unfortunately, first of all, how dare you? Second of all, you don't really even want to change your ways. You want to keep on doing what you're doing. And I'm a prize, but I realize he's a prize too. And so I'm going to back off a little bit, but I'm not going to back up too much because that's who I am. So I might back up 10% and still keep 90% of my attitude and expect him to be okay with that. If you go out there and a man dogs you out and then you trying to, skip on back to the guy that you left, you gonna need to back off more than 10% of your bad attitude. You gonna need to back off like 50% at minimum. At minimum, you can keep your personality because that's who you are. But that attitude you had, you might be able to keep 10% of it if you're lucky.
If my boyfriend asks me to marry him, I'm going to say no.
Why not?
Because we started dating 5 years ago.
I already know where this is going.
We started talking. He said, if we last a year, I'd like to get married and try for a baby. So a year came by, nothing. Then he said, well, maybe after 3 years, let's look at it like a lease payment. You get 3 years. 3 years came by. Nothing. And then he said, maybe 5. 5 is a big deal. 5 came. Nothing.
It's absolutely no disrespect to this content creator, but if you know that you want to be a wife someday, your man needs to know there are certain things that you are only doing with your husband, whether it's being intimate with him, whether it's moving in with him, whether it's buying a house together, whether it's having a joint account, whether it's having a baby with him. There has to be certain things that he already knows because you've told him. I only do this with my husband. When you give him everything, he has absolutely no incentive to ever make you his wife. And once he has you doing wife things without making you a wife, he will string you along and stall you out for as long as possible. When he got you to compromise after 1 year and got you to compromise after 3 years, that's why you're still here after 5 years, because he already knows he could talk you into a couple more years. And if you leave him, he's going to act like you left before he proposed. Like he was just about to do it. It's just a ploy to get more time out of you.
And a lot of times you'll see dudes perform old school stuff, traditional stuff, chivalrous acts, being generous, being a gentleman, the whole 9 yards, right? But I think a lot of times they don't get the respect back. There's nothing that comes back. Not a thank you. Not a tap on the shoulder, not a smile, not a chuckle. A lot of these modern women don't even glance in your direction. They're not even looking in your direction, man. They just walking through the door, just waltz through the door, just walk in front of you, man. Hey, modern women don't treat men as human beings. They treat a dog as more of a human being than a man. They treat a cat. They treat a rat, bars, as more of a human being than than a man. They treat that man like dirt. You're less than dirt. You're not even an object. I don't even see you. And this is what meant, man. You know those automatic doors that just you walk up to it and it just opens, or a button you just push. You know, if you're handicapped, I know a lot of people they're not handicapped and they use it anyway. You push the button, the handicap, the door opens, right? For assistance. That's what modern women think that men are. They think that men are technology, just an automatic thing that's supposed to be there. They really feel like a man is supposed to act like that. I don't have to acknowledge you. You're just there. You're just an object.
Well, I think you do that naturally. But you don't know what's happening on her side, which list it's going on. Well, that's the first thing I'm going to fix when we get married. We have rehabilitation programs, and not knowing that you want and need acceptance as much as you also give it. That's a definite two-way thing, but it's so much harder for us. But we try. So one of the things I noticed about men is you know where your deal breakers are. You know what, do you ever use the term non-starter?
I don't use it a whole lot, but yeah.
That's a non-starter. Like you just already know that will never work. Yeah. And you don't try to make it work. It's a non-starter. Well, women believe in potential. So we don't honor our deal breakers. We don't honor our non-starters. We think eventually you'll give us what we can't live without. And you'll stop doing what we can't live with. Mm-hmm. Instead of, let's talk about this. These are the things I can't live with and I can't live without. Do you agree? That'd be so honest.
Yeah. That would be so honest.
So as a man, to your question, this is how I'd handle it. If you're going to be with me, this is something you need to accept. You got 12 days to figure that out.
And what modern women have to understand is, because they push out this narrative that men are hiding, that men are not around, that men never come to singles events, that men are in different dating spaces. Modern women are so oblivious to the movements of a man that a man could actually come to a dating event. He actually go to the dating event, but you won't notice him because you're looking for the dude that's 6'5". You won't notice him because you're looking for the dude that is wearing an Armani suit or something like that. You're looking for the person that looks how you want them to look, that presents themselves how you think that they should present themselves, when they might present a slightly different way. They might talk a different way. They might approach a different way. And we're not talking about people who walk up to you and approach you looking like a slouch and a slob. We're just talking about, say for instance, a dude wears a red suit. Well, I'm looking for, my husband's going to be a guy in a black suit. God's going to send me a man in a black suit, black loafers. I've already prayed for it. Why did you pray for something so shallow like that? Why? When the dude in the red suit is exactly who you're looking for. Oh, he sounds like he's from New York. So, well, I'm looking for a guy from Connecticut. Why does it matter? Have you talked to him to see how he treats you? Yeah, I actually did. He seems like a nice guy. He's got this down. He's really educated. I really like that about him. Seems like he's connected well to his family and his friends. Well-adjusted man. He's got a good job, great hobbies. Well, if he has all of that stuff, then why don't you just date him? What kind of job does he have? Oh, it's a boring job. I really don't like that. Does he make a stable income? Yeah, but I don't think that's going to be exciting for my life. Huh? They really disqualify men because of these things. Minute things. And I'm exaggerating, but there's minute things that modern women, basically say, well, you're a really good man, actually. But you're not my husband. And then they go and start making up stupid sayings talking about, well, you know, don't let your boyfriend or something like that, or don't let a good man keep you from finding your husband. What does that even mean? Can you just go ahead and do what you're supposed? Just say that you're not ready. Just say that you don't have the emotional intelligence capacity to handle a man like that.
Conservatives don't like DEI in the workforce, but they're totally okay with it in relationships. They argue against assigning roles based on identity and gender and race, but they still expect genders to determine roles in relationships. Now, you all know that I hate the rigid gender roles. I believe that shared responsibility in marriages and relationships should be based on ability, capacity, and agreement. Because a lot of people don't want roles assigned to them based on their gender and enforced through control, pressure, and entitlement. Because healthy relationships don't say, since you're a woman, you need to submit. And since you're a man, you have to lead. No, they say, what are we each good at? What do we enjoy? How do we support each other fairly? Because that's balance and that's merit. And traditional gender roles were never about balance. They were about power and limitation. Women did not freely choose that role. They were socially and legally boxed into that role. And now that women have autonomy, relationship roles have to be negotiated, not assigned. There should be mutual respect, shared decision-making, emotional maturity on both sides, flexibility in your roles, and no one person having authority over another. Now, if a couple chooses the dynamic where one person leads and one follows the whole time, that's fine because the key word is choice. So you absolutely can have equality and balance. You just can't have equality and control disguised as tradition.
You want to know the type of woman that men never really get over? It's not the one who cried, it's not the one who begged, and it's definitely not the one who blew up his phone trying to fix things and work on us and we're gonna be great. No. Hi, my name is Julia. I talk about mindset, dating patterns, and the glow up. If that's your thing, stick around. It's the woman who left that man without saying a single word, not one word. She had no meltdown this time around. There was no warning this time around. There was no long paragraph text messages explaining herself, her worth, her pain. That girl was just gone this time. And it's because when you're calling him and chasing him and he sees the breakdown and the meltdown and the tears, he's sitting there thinking, perfect. This is great. This is great. She loves me. I'm winning. She's hooked. I don't have to do anything. That all, my dear, is comfort to that man. That's his little emotional couch, his little safe space. He loves that. So when you go quiet instead, when you don't even explain why you're done, because you're so done at this point, that's when that man is going to start shaking in his boots, okay? Because silence says this: I am not fighting for space anymore in your life, cowboy. And that's the moment that really hits him. Truly, that's when it hits him. And he's going to start thinking, oh, I think it might be over this time. No, she might be serious this time. Yeah, because listen, girl, Maserati does not advertise. Why do you think that is? Why? It's because value does not beg to be noticed. Simple. It just commands respect. So when your self-worth starts meaning more to you than his attention, that's when the games are over for him.
I see all these men quitting dating and going into celibacy, and it's great. I don't know what's going on with my hair, I just come out of the ocean, but it's fantastic. I believe every man and woman should go through celibacy for a year in their life. It's nothing more important than being able to harness your own life force energy, to be with yourself, to be with your body, and to hold and build more capacity for more of your life force, your pleasure, your orgasmic potential, to not be driven by your eros. And when we learn to be with our own, we are raising our standard for what we are tolerating when it comes to dating, and this will help the whole world to level up, because we're not tolerating bad dates, crumbs, or people who are just not doing the right thing. So I think this is great. It might be sad that the dating culture is very broken, very painful for a lot of people, but this is good. This is a bit of a shake-up to wake up, and maybe this is a year where people are doing the work on themselves and collectively we are leveling up. So 2027. Maybe all these happy, healthy people with high standards, a lot of love, a lot of kindness, a lot of care. We get back into the dating scene and we will create all this happy, healthy relationship built from truth, built from genuine connection, real, safe love, not trauma bonding, not just chemistry, but actually relationships that's going to last lifetime. Not more divorce every couple of years, lifetime. That's what I'm hoping for. What do you believe? Let me know in the comments.
I was dating a man earlier this year, and what he taught me was that men who are not willing to risk their ego and put themselves out there to ask you out are insecure men, and that is going to show up in a lot of negative toxic behaviors later in your relationship. And he had told me that I was the first woman that he ever had to pursue because he was very good looking. Whether that was true or not is neither here nor there. But he doesn't like to pursue other women, and I didn't realize that was a red flag at the time. But I saw it come out because I'm very secure in who I am, my flaws, my strengths, all of it. Like, it's me, and I'm very comfortable. And I noticed that he would try to poke at different potential insecurities I might have that other women would have, and I wouldn't be defensive. I'd just be like, yeah, no, I like this is just me, you know, and I love me, and you know, we're all human. And because I wouldn't react to him trying to provoke my insecurities, it made him feel very insecure. So then he would try to make little digs and comments about me to bring my self-esteem down. And so it just, initially he was very sweet and complimentary because he wanted me to like him. But as we got more comfortable with each other over time, his true colors showed, where it was clear he was not comfortable being with a secure, confident woman. It made him feel insecure. So long story short, TLDR, if a man is not willing to, risk his ego to pursue you and potentially get rejected, he's actually very insecure, and you're not going to have a good relationship long term.
Is chivalry? What happened to all the chivalrous men? Ladies, always asking, where has the chivalry gone? I'll tell you where it's gone. That's where it's gone. You see, a lot of men are getting tired of opening doors and not hearing a thank you, letting a lot of our comments go unliked and unreplied to, all of a sudden skip out and disappear in the middle of the dinner date. And of course, we pay for the bill, forcing us to eat our food and yours too, not because we're hungry, but because we paid for it. My best advice, fellas, do it from the heart. Do it with class, but do it not because you want her to like you, do it because you want to do it. And ladies, if he's not being chivalrous enough, you straight up let him know, hey, I need you to open up some doors and show up with some roses to my front door every once in a while. Yeah, heard me now.
Women are always saying the same. They're always asking the same question. Where are all the good guys at? There's no good guys. I can't find any good guys. It's tough out here right now. And you gotta stop and wonder, what exactly do they think they mean by good guy? What do you think they mean when they say good guy? And if you go into the comment sections of these TikToks or these Instagram reels, you see a bunch of guys in there saying, oh, we're right here, but you didn't want us. And I think there's a misunderstanding, and I want to connect the dots for you, because I don't think you fully understand what women mean when they say they want a good guy. See, most guys, they just assume women want jerks, and jerks definitely do better than submissive, passive, nice guys. That's for sure. But what if there was a third option? I'll explain it to you like this. Imagine it's 2,000 years ago, prehistoric humanity type, and you have a cave, and in that cave, there's one female who has to decide between two males. Now, male A is very aggressive and brutish and domineering. He doesn't even treat the female very nice, but he's an excellent hunter and protector. Male B treats the female like a queen. He dotes on her. He's emotionally available. He's very kind and polite, and he really is invested in her well-being, but he's not a good protector and he can't hunt. Now, if you're the female, male A is the obvious choice. Why? Well, because survival is more important than emotional comfort. And so you have to understand, in the woman's subconscious, that decision-making process still exists to some extent. Now, it looks a little different in modern day, and that's what I want to break down in this video, because what if I told you there was a third option? And this third option, this third male archetype, is what women are talking about when They ask the question, where are all the good guys at?
A king? No, kings have very low tolerance for emasculation. They'd rather be alone than to be diminished by a woman. And so when a man is looking for a partner, he's looking for those complementary strengths. And then, okay, what goes with this? And when he chooses her, and we feel it in our bodies before they ever say, will you marry me? We can feel when they have picked up the whole package. We feel safe. We feel loved and we feel safe. And it's because they have accepted the stuff that goes with what they value about you the most. That's just part and parcel. And if one of their friends says, oh, but she's so, that's just how she is. And he's not out to change it, even though it might hurt him, even though it might be irritating, even though it might trip him up. He's not going to try to change it. He bought the package.
But are you a man worth respecting? So many men find themselves in relationships where they're not being respected or appreciated. And so they tell themselves, okay, well, then I'm just going to go find it somewhere else. I'm going to go flirt with another girl. I'm going to go sleep on another girl and cheat on my wife. Or I'm going to go, watch porn. Whatever it is that you do, you're outsourcing that validation. Because you're saying, oh, I don't feel desired. Oh, I don't feel respected here. I don't feel admired. So I'm going to go find someone who will tell me I'm enough, who will make me feel respected, who will make me feel desired because I can't give it to myself. And so you need to ask yourself, well, is that a man worth respecting? A man that needs someone else to tell him he's good enough. Because the fact that you justify your wife's behaviors because you're staying in the relationship is the exact reason you justify your own. You justify your own, you justify hers. You're like, okay, well, it's okay that I go do this because she's being, so that excuses my poor behavior. What you're doing is that you're justifying and rationalizing yourself to stay a lower version of yourself. And if that's the case, then doesn't it make sense that you're in an unhappy, dysfunctional relationship? You settled for a cheaper, dishonorable version of you. The version that doesn't respect himself enough to assert a boundary. The version of himself that doesn't respect himself enough to walk away. No, you would rather go against your own values. You'd rather go against your own morale than to just do what's harder, but would be best for you and your wife and your family moving forward. That's what it means to lead. To lead others means you need to know how to lead yourself first. Like, okay, let's be honest with myself right now. Like, am I happy with the way things are? Am I acting like a good husband, like the husband I would be if I was in a happy relationship? Because if not, then aren't you an exact match for what you're currently in? Doesn't it make sense?
And really, I think in a lot of these situations, what it comes down to is modern women want something, but then they want to modify that something, right? And so you have men that'll be men. They're actually masculine. I'll pay the bill. I'll pay the bills. I'll, initiate plans and open doors and all that stuff. But then when I do that and I don't do it to your liking, then you call me controlling, right? If I'm leading the house and I'm leading the charge and I'm making a decision, because this is what modern women like to do. They like to spend all day making a decision. It's not like we hadn't discussed it. We didn't spend all day talking about this type of stuff. But you just, give me a couple more days to think about it. Give you a couple more days. I really think I need a week. Give a couple weeks. And by that time, the opportunity is gone. Well, that's just not what God had for us. No, it was. But you just wanted to do things on your timeline. And after 4 or 5 of those things, because modern women will do that, they'll control the relationship with their indecisiveness. And then when you start to move on and do your thing, it's just something about him. He just moving when he shouldn't. And let me tell you something, ladies, when a man wants to move too fast, that's of the devil. No, it's not. The devil ain't got nothing to do with that. That's your indecisiveness. You're slothful. You're lazy. You can't make up your mind. Analysis, paralysis, whatever you want to call it. But you need to, it's not even therapy. You need to start making some decisions and sticking with it. See, what happens is modern women get out here and they don't like consequences. They want everything to go smoothly And what I'm really trying to get you to do, sir, is I'm trying to get you, if we go with this decision, you take the blame. You make it right. I want to guarantee that everything is going to work out 100%. And if it don't, you take it on the chin. Every single thing. And that's why modern women get out here and they be talking about, well, you know, if he take you out and he don't like you, then get some property out of him. Make sure he gives you that bag, or make sure he gets you some property, or make sure he gets you a car. Do you know what you're asking, silly? You're asking a man for, you just spent 5 minutes with the man. You're asking a man for a whole property, a whole house. Are you slow? Are you slow? Are you okay, ma'am? But this is what these modern women are doing today. A man go out there, take care of his responsibilities, doing what he's supposed to be doing, and can't get the woman to move. Can't get the woman to move. I want a man to do this, and a man do all of it. Oh, I just really ain't sold. We really need to go. Oh, don't rush me. You trying to love bomb me. That don't even fit right here. Oh, well, yet see, you always trying to play on my words. Girl, go back to therapy. You're a psychopath.